No, absolutely. And another thing, you mentioned that Washington Post report in which Israel is saying that Israel targeted Syria's chemical sites. Last night, this was probably not the case. How do we know? Does anyone really know what Israel attacked allegedly last night in Damascus? No, but here's something we do know. Yesterday, on Wednesday afternoon, a cargo plane belonging to the Iranian army, or the Iranian armed forces, a cargo plane, a Boeing 747, landed at Damascus airport, was there for a few hours, and left. A few hours later, an Israeli attack taking place in the same place. Probably these things are connected. Do I have any proof to what I'm saying? Absolutely not. But it makes sense. There have been so many such strikes in recent years, targeting Iranian convoys landing in Syria, trying to make their way to Lebanon. This is probably the case. And yes, we're seeing intensified attacks over the past few months, especially since that meeting between Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and Russian President Vladimir Putin a few weeks ago in Russia. Ever since, we're seeing intensified Israeli attacks. It seems as if Russia gave a sort of a green light to continue with those attacks and even intensify them. The Russians are just as unhappy with the Iranian presence in Syria as Israel is.
An important point you mentioned, bringing up Russia. I believe until that meeting, following these alleged strikes, we were seeing the Russians come out basically pointing the finger at Israel as well, talking about numbers of jets and missiles, revealing information. Now we haven't heard that. We haven't heard the Russian defense establishment say anything about these strikes.
No comments from Israel. No comments from Russia either. The Russians are well aware that Iranian presence in Syria will basically put aside any attempt to rebuild the war-torn country. And let's remember, this is not just a matter of stability, it's also a matter of money. There's a lot of money to be made from Syria's reconstruction. Russia wants that money to go into Russian hands. In order for that to happen, they need the Iranians to go outside, first, not to take away that money from the reconstruction, and second, make sure that things are quiet and stable to begin with that reconstruction.
It certainly seems like almost a bit of competition right now amongst Middle Eastern countries as well, who can get in and get a slice of the pie of the reconstruction efforts here. And just in short, though, this is considered a very tense arena with all the given backdrop, nuclear talks in Vienna, Tehran Times publishing a list of targets in Israel yesterday. All eyes on this arena, tense for the Israeli defense establishment.
Absolutely, and let's remember, when we speak Iran, it's not just Iran itself, Tehran and the nuclear sites there. Iran means Iranian proxies in Syria. Iran means, first and foremost, Lebanon. Perhaps the biggest Iranian threat towards Israel comes from Lebanon through Hezbollah, Palestinian Islamic Jihad. Iran is all over the place, and Israel is acting against it.